Some have said that it's what they imagine a peaceful death being like, while I've also heard that it's what they compare heaven being like, or that they only truly feel alive during those brief moments. Well, I'm here to tell you that jumping out of a plane that is thousands of feet in the air is the most exhilarating and self-discovering act that you can do on the entire planet. Now, the object that I brought for you today is a journal. This journal serves as a documentary to self-discovery and feeling for all skydivers. Now, a journal is not what you would expect to represent a culture of skydivers, but I've not met a single skydiver that is serious about the sport that does not carry one. I've been skydiving for about 4 years. I started when I was a freshman in high school and a little lost and insecure, like some of us were back then. And I was pushed to do it, and I've been hooked ever since. There's so much that you can learn about yourself from skydiving, and I believe that there's an endless amount that everybody can learn about themselves. So first I'm going to tell you about the journal and the purpose it serves to skydivers, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I identify with that culture, my personal experience with it, and then if I have time, I'm actually going to read you an entry from my journal. So the journal serves a purpose to all skydivers, and without it, a big portion of the experience could be lost. So much is going through your head in a rush of freedom and pure adrenaline that when you later look back on what you were thinking during the jump, it could just be jumbled into a continuous blur, and you can't remember much of anything. The only way to truly pick apart everything you were thinking during that jump is to focus on everything you were thinking during that jump. The wind, the view, your thoughts, everything. Close your eyes and then open them and look down at the entire world beneath you carrying out their normal day. As soon as your feet touch the ground and you can safely drop your chute, I pull out my journal from out of my jacket and I scribble down everything that I can possibly remember. Everything. Random thoughts, bullet points, full sentences, pictures, numbers, everything. It's like a dream. If you try to remember your dream immediately after you wake up and write everything down, your chances are you'll remember almost everything. But if you reminisce about your dream an hour or even 5 minutes later, oftentimes it's all lost and you can only recall maybe 1 or 2 key points. So I just told you the importance of a journal to a skydiver and why we keep one. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I identify with the actual culture of skydiving. Like I said, I've learned an endless amount about myself, and I've heard similar things from other skydivers. And therefore, from the skydiving community and everybody a part of it, I identify with them. You realize what's important to yourself. When you're falling at 120 miles an hour out of the sky, things that used to bother you no longer do, or things that stress you out, you just become more accepting. When you're falling at 1,000 feet every 5 seconds, things that you find that are truly important to you come out. The most important realization I've had from my experience with skydiving is about my parents. And I'm going to read you a quick little entry, and it's verbatim, so it's random. It's just everything that I thought. They're still together after 30 years. That's an inspiration to the world. Be able to love somebody by the time you're 18 and live with them your whole life, amazing. They did it, perfect. They let me make my own mistakes. Guidance when they see fit, they're perfect. Could have asked for anything better. I think I know why I'm such good friends with Gabe and Ralph. Because their parents are still together the whole time. There's a difference. There's a kind of love that you grow up when your parents are still together like that. You live without regrets, and you're not surrounded by regrets. So I made a comparison to 2 of my closest friends, and I had a realization during this jump that the reason that I think I'm such good friends with these people is that they came up in similar backgrounds due to their parents and that the culture that they were raised that's just all about love and growing. So I've told you a little bit about what you can learn from skydiving and what people don't usually realize when they usually think of skydiving as just a pure adrenaline sport. I told you what the journal serves to skydivers, the role it plays, and why I identify with skydivers. Skydiving is way more than you think. There's an endless amount that we can all learn from it. Skydiving changed my life. Give it a shot. It might just change yours.